Sasha Coyston, and I am the program coordinator with the St. Albert Sturgeon Hospice Association. So SASHA started as a grassroots organization. It was members of the community coming together. There was only one hospice bed in St. Albert at that time, and so it was a collaborative effort between members of the community to basically advocate for more hospice beds. And in 2016, 10 hospice beds in Foyer-Lacombe became available, and that is where the hospice is now. So we consider ourselves friends of Foyer-Lacombe, and we have volunteers who go in and sit bedside with patients and talk with family members, and we also have music programs in there as well. And then we have the compassionate care volunteer program, where we have volunteers who go into the community to be with caregivers and their loved one and just offer that respite for them. And we do some peer support caregiver groups as well, and we collaborate with Caregivers Alberta in facilitating Compass for the Caregiver as well. I believe it was in 2023 we had Sonia Yakovic come from Mount Royal University, and she shared everything about the grief walks and nature and how it all comes together. And then from there we did a pilot program for 8 weeks, and we had about 6 to 8 participants. And once the 8 weeks were over, it was rave reviews from participants about wanting it to continue past the 8 weeks. And from there, it's every week on Wednesdays, and now we see anywhere from 15 to 25 participants a week, and it's been really good to just see so many people come together and create this community. We do sometimes do evening walks as well. You know, we watch the sunset, and it's always nice to have that. So for people who maybe can't come during the day, they can come in the evening. But we just kind of play it by ear and see what happens.
Please tell us your name first.
It's Joanna Lawson. I lost my daughter almost 18 months ago, Laura Lawson. She worked for the Edmonton Fire Department in dispatch. She was very proud of her job, did well at it. She was 35. Beautiful girl. Still bothers me, obviously. But yeah, she developed a cancer from a anti-rejection drug that she needed to take. She was a kidney transplant patient, and the drug caused her cancer, a very rare cancer, and she lost the second time around. So it left at that time her son was 7 or 6, I guess, so he's going to be turning 9 in December. So hard times. She loved her son. She was also doing a makeup course. She was fantastic at makeup. And the special memory I had was that last October, or the October before she passed, she made it a point that every time when she picked him up from school, she wore a different costume. And my favorite is her Snow White. And when she showed up at the daycare to pick him up, the girls wanted her autograph. And then they were Pikachu, and she was a pizza slice, and the one he did not like was Cruella de Vil. He made her take the wig off. I'd seen something actually on Facebook. Somebody had shared the walk, and at that point, I think when they first started it, it was more a 6 or 8 week program, and they had mentioned how helpful it was. And I wasn't ready the first time I'd kind of seen it, but the second time I needed some help. I was not dealing with things, and so I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. So that's kind of how I found out about it.
So please tell us your name.
Ron Maurice. I've been a volunteer with SASHA for a year and probably 8 months with the Grief Walk program. It was in one of the developmental supplements that we get for adult learning, and they had an ad in the paper on that catalog with SASHA and the Grief Walks. That's how I first became aware of it. I started as a participant, and it's the group. We've all come together. We've talked. We've told our stories, and Me, as far as I felt very, very welcomed when we first started as in the group, and it was something that I took home, and it was something that really helped me within my grief. November 16th coming up, in 2 years, our son passed away. His name was John, and John was he was an athlete, a pro athlete, played pro lacrosse, and we lost him November 16th, 2023. And it was shortly thereafter that I started with SASHA. And as I said, this program's helped me, and just talking with Joanna and the groups that have lost their child too. So.
You said your son was a pro athlete. Was he a nature guy too?
Oh, very much nature, yes. Oh, he was a birdie. He loved birds, him and his wife. Just absolutely loved getting out in the nature. He was a power lifter, Olympic weightlifter. So his condition kind of got lost because he was such a burly guy. They didn't think it was cancer. They thought it was other things. Well, initially, I couldn't talk about it. Obviously, I couldn't talk about it. And it took me a while to be able to open up. And now, I want to talk about him. I want to say his name. I want his story to live on. I want his memory to live on because it's something that keeps his soul alive. So I love talking about him. Yeah.
Hi, Audrey. Could you please tell us your last name?
It's White, as in Isle of Wight.
How did you first hear about the grief walks?
My doctor, my GP, recommended me to a healthcare professional, actually mental health professional, and she found a brochure for me for the bereavement group. It just went from there. I went to the meeting, and Laura got up and did her announcements, and one of the announcements was for this walk. And I thought, you know what? I've been sitting at home for 2 years. Actually, it was almost 2 years to the date. Crying a river every day, locking myself away in the house. Grief really sucks. And I thought, you know what? I need to get out, get some fresh air. I need to move. So I'm going to this walk. And I've been coming ever since. That was September a year ago. I'm grieving my husband. His name was Terry, and Terry was a wonderful husband for 40 years. Last 5, not so much because he had dementia. And the only person he would let look after him was me. Which is sweet, but it's a heck of a lot of pressure, to be honest. And it's very isolating. So when I started coming to these walks, I'd been isolated for quite a few years. And it was just so nice to have people to talk to that actually understand the situation. It's just nice to get out and get some fresh air, see the seasons, go out and smell the roses. Lots of things have changed. I'm a very different person today than I was a year ago. And apart from my attitude towards nature, I have a better attitude towards people too. You know, when you're depressed, you just don't have a good attitude. And I'm not depressed anymore. And I had been for a good number of years. It's nice. I'm happy for once. Being with people was really important. Isolation is not a good thing, especially when you're grieving. You don't heal that way.
Not only that we came together as strangers, and I know the first time that I went on a grief walk, Laura was the lead, and I wept from her words, her opening. And as time went on, the group gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and it's very nice.
It's helped to strengthen you?
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Like some days you know, if you want, you don't have to talk to anybody. You can just walk by yourself and listen to the sounds. And we especially like it when we go to some of the areas and we can feed the birds or just listen.
Grief is a strange thing. You don't understand it until it happens to you. And I was there, you know, like, if you've not lost someone really important to you, you're like, you've been grieving for a year and crying and all this, and you're not done yet? You know, suck it up and get over it. And I was one of them. And then it happened to me. And nobody understands until they actually experience it. I've gone from that horrible hole in the heart, from grief, to a heart full of joy and love. They turned my frown upside down.